Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying our slight green day that we're having. I kind of wanted to go back to something that we were looking at before, back when we were evaluating whether the S&P was helping us or hurting us. And just to kind of keep perspective, we are being impacted again by S&P, which is kind of a nice place to be compared to the absolute horror show that we've seen in about a week ago, where Bitcoin just was dying and there was no correlation to anything positive. While the S&P was gaining strength, Bitcoin and the crypto market has been falling. So now we're kind of back to business as usual, which is kind of an interesting thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to be here, but there's obviously a lot of correlation between the markets. This is the 1 minute chart on the S&P in the middle, Bitcoin 1 minute chart on top, and then this is the minute by minute percent difference since the opening of the day. So we had Bitcoin outperforming for a lot of the time, and then when the S&P just fell off a cliff halfway through the day, it actually pulled down Bitcoin faster, which was kind of curious. And then we're having this kind of flat, and then we popped back up, and we ended the day very close. So Bitcoin tracked S&P almost to a T, but S&P closes, and then Bitcoin does its own thing. So I'm going to head over to the daily chart, and I want to take a look at what's happening on the daily Bitcoin results. So we are just touching our declining resistance. So we're giving ourselves another chance to get above this, which would be a positive thing. We still have an hour left in the market, so there's still some time. The very curious thing that's happening is that we have Bitcoin up 1.6% right now, and Ethereum is almost flat. And so the question is, what is going on here? And it kind of goes back to some fundamental problems that are happening with the, with the SBF and this FTX thing. So take a look at this. This is kind of an interesting tweet that came out 3 hours ago. Okay, so there at the end of this whole thing, so after FTX was in bankruptcy, $380 million was taken from the cold wallets. Obviously, there's only a handful of people that should have access to an exchange's cold wallet, so this is absolutely an inside job. And what we're seeing is that the exploiter is now dumping their assets for ETH and is now one of the largest ETH holders in the world, 228,000 Ethereum. And this guy posted a chart of the OFAC compliant blocks. This is the censorship that I've been referring to on this channel, that Ethereum is becoming more and more censored, and it's because of validators being centralized or located in the United States, and so they are looking for transactions that are linked to Tornado Cash, and these Tornado Cash transactions are being excluded from being mined from the. So I say mined, but it's proof of stake. So they're the holders of large balances of ETH that are staking. They still can choose which coins are confirmed and which ones are not. And so 74% are enforcing the OFAC compliance with that with any mixers and Tornado Cash. These coins are definitely going to be put through a mixer, and they will, they're trying to hide what they are, but the wallet itself is gigantic. So I think there's a little bit of fear that this person is going to either dump them or just it's making the risk for holding Ethereum from a global perspective a little bit higher. So there's obviously way more Ethereum in existence. We've already looked at that. There's 120 million, so 200,000 isn't like the end of the world, but I believe it's kind of having an emotional impact on the price of Ethereum today. So looking at the Ethereum chart, you can see that we've had kind of a weak day. It is green, so we're kind of turning the corner here, but who knows what it'll look like in an hour. I was really hoping for kind of a pretty good move, and earlier we had it. We were up quite a bit. If I go to the 1 hour chart, you can kind of see how it was about 8 hours ago that we maxed out, 9 hours, and now we've been kind of falling down a bit. So Ethereum's been showing some weakness coming into the daily close, and Bitcoin is showing strength. This is exactly what I was expecting from this green candle yesterday, that we would turn the corner and start a leg up. So now the question is does the leg stop tomorrow or do we continue? We're all crossing our fingers for a continuation, because a nice sized recovery would really bring some relief to the market. The only thing that I have as a concern is that our weekly candle looks a little strange. So I'm looking at the Bitcoin weekly candle, and we're coming up off the bottom here, and there are two ways that we can pull off a bullish weekly scenario. One way is that we come up pretty strongly and we cross the 50% line and really get back in. If we cross the 50% marker, we're back up into our original kind of trading range, and this would be extremely bullish. The other thing that we could do to be extremely bullish is have a tight doji candle right here. It gives the market a chance to show that there's a turnaround coming. The worst thing we can do is have a weak candle that closes about right here, anywhere from where we are exactly right now to the 50% point. If we have anything in this range, it's going to show that the bulls are completely out of steam, and we will likely come back down and retest this line. So we have 5 days, so there's nothing to write home about yet, but we kind of need to make a choice. Either the market needs to kind of sit, or the market needs to move pretty good. I would love to recapture this, so kind of my own, markets will do whatever they want to do, and I can sit on the sideline and hope for whatever I want, and it won't matter. But it would be really cool if we could overcome this top and put in a nice move somewhere near in here. But we have 5 days to do it, so we'll see. I mean, if we came up really powerful and then fell back down, it would kind of create the same negative results. So I'm all about patience, but this formation is really nice. We've got a higher low, and we're building strength. So some of this emotion is kind of being washed through. There's some fundamental problems though, because if Ethereum is not keeping up with Bitcoin, that's very unusual, and that's kind of split the altcoins for the day. So we have some that are dropping pretty solidly, and then we have some that are really coming back strong. We have some that are having a pretty high percent day, and we've had a handful above 5%. I've been kind of watching the ones that are moving the most, and they're all kind of, the ones that are in this low section, they're kind of building a base. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of the alts start popping. But I kind of feel like we'll likely need Ethereum to move in order for that to happen. And Ethereum has got a long top. So here's a couple more that have higher percentage. You can see how the whole market looks pretty ugly. Getting down further on my list, we're getting closer to coins that we're interested in from the pro channel perspective. So Chili's is doing pretty well, given the circumstances. So it's in the middle of this giant trading range, which is really cool. People had a pretty good performance today too. So it's above the 50. So it is showing support here. So there's some positivity. One that's fallen down a bit is actually come down because of how well it's done. So these coins can't go up forever. But yeah, this is one of the few that's in that situation. What's happening here is that we're kind of revisiting our resistance from here. So there is, yeah, in fact, to perfection. So anyway, usually we'll need another run at this if we're going to go through it, and our 50 is pretty low, so we'll need about 2 to 4 weeks of downside until we can get our 50 up here. If we can bounce off the 50, we'll give it another shot, and we'll see how things go. So anyway, it's been an interesting market. It's kind of nice to see a green day after we've had such a kind of a rough week, but we'll see what happens. If tomorrow the momentum continues, I would kind of chalk that up as a win. But we'll have to see. If we get too high, our weekly candle is going to look really ugly. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.